Hey, damn, that's a crystal picture. Damn it. It's about time I got a new camera, right? Say, homies in La La Land and cyberspace and YouTube world, anybody still trading this market? Isn't it great? Um, yeah. So my son's off to college, and there's only one kid living at home with us now. We cleaned out the basement, and I got back to giving away stuff. So if you guys need stuff, the headphones are gone. The Bluetooth headset is gone. We're giving away artwork tomorrow. This is up for grabs. We're going to be giving away all kinds of stuff over the next couple of weeks. Just got to stop in, maybe join or whatever you do. Business model flawless right now. Never been better. People are making money during the trial and then joining for 4 months, and then within those 4 months they usually pay for the rest of the year or sometimes a lifetime. Not joking around, we've got guys really killing it. I'm having like 5, 10, 20 grand days. We had an 80 grand day the other day, and not a lot of money up at risk either, especially last Friday. 5 grand worth of options in a couple of different situations. You made about quarter mil. Not an exaggeration. Of course, those were the long shots, and you could have lost all 5 grand, but all five hit. Very rare. That's why Friday was an extraordinary day. We had a deer option play. No joke. Nobody did this trade, but it was there. If you bought the puts at the time, let's say we were looking at the 362.50s for $1.50. And that's the ones we bought, 362.50s for $1.50. And they went to $4 to $5, and we did all right. But at the same time, as the 362.50s, if you decide to speculate thinking maybe deer would plummet to 350, the 350s were a dime, right? So really it was the 355s for 35 cents, which were remarkable. 35 cents, they went to $10. The 350s were a dime, they went to 5, which if you think about it, it's 50 times your money. So that's what I'm saying. So if you did a combination of the 362.50s, threw in some 355s, maybe some 350s, with $1,000 on each, you made about 100 grand on that trade. Again, that's if you bought at the low, held right to the top. But usually in the process, if you bought from the beginning and held to the end, you made a quarter mil. Reasonably speaking, you would have made 100 grand because you would have been selling out into the move. But that was only one trade. We had the Alibaba reversal where we had 50-cent options went to $4. That one we all did. That one I was in from 58 cents. Yeah, I mean, I sold some at $1.20, and then they were at $2, and I sold most of them at $2. But then I got out of some of them at $3. I paid 58 cents. So just imagine that was your big trade. Maybe you decided to go crazy on that one. And then we had AMAT and Foot Locker and this company BKE, and the reversals keep working. And suddenly, when you have a day like last Friday, you come in the next day jacked, like you could do no wrong. So now you've got the confidence, you got the money, and now you take the confidence, you take the money and apply it to the trades that work so well. And then you have another great day, and then another great day, and now you're feeling invincible. And that's how you build. And you can take your small accounts and do really well. You trade these reversals on Thursdays and Fridays if you only have a limited amount of money. And that's how you do it. Wait for the greatest trade to show up and use the leverage on a Thursday or Friday with cheap options. It's a perfect storm. So if you get a reversal, a VWAP break on an earnings report on a Friday with weekly options, it's been a miracle, really. And what's really cool is that every morning I do a broadcast where we record the first hour and a half of the day. So if anybody wants documented proof, if believe me, after 14 years of doing this on YouTube and 30 years later still doing it. Uh, I've never seen anything like this before in my whole life. I've never seen this many trades work. And, again, Alibaba was a complete, I mean, that trade was it's one of my best calls ever. I mean, I was right there bashing the stock for the last 3 months. People at my company were putting buy recommendations on it at 240, talking about fundamentals. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who cares about fundamentals? What do you really know about a Chinese money laundering cyborg run, company? You know nothing. Stock's going at 220 at least. And if it breaks 220, it's going to 205. And if it breaks 205, it's going to 180. If it breaks 180, it's going to 150. It's just math. It's just charts. There's no fundamental investing anymore. No, earnings don't matter. They're catalysts to react to, sure, but in the end, it doesn't matter. So the money, how much money Alibaba makes, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything at all. What means something is short covering. Because the analysts were upgrading Alibaba at 300 with a $500 price target. At 280, they were upgrading Alibaba with $400 price targets. Meanwhile, they don't give you time. They don't give you when. They just throw those random numbers out there. They put a buy up upgrade on it. If the stock goes up, they seem like geniuses. That's kind of the reason why I hate the bull market, because all these idiots and schmucks and all these fancy people with their MBAs, they think they know something when they don't. They don't know anything. The market's manipulated to only go up. No one's beating the QQQ. Nobody's beating the QQQ. Nobody's beating the Qs. You own the Qs. You're out smarting every analyst, every fund manager ever. And there's no denying it. By the way, Gail, if you're still out there, 310 points ago, I was saying how the market never goes down, just own the Qs. And this woman, Gail, on my website, that's why we made a t-shirt about it. She called me criminally negligent to consistently say the market's never going to go down and all you have to buy is the Qs. So now it's, 17 years later, Gail, 300 points later on the Qs, I think I was right. All-time highs every day. We've gotten through a financial crisis and a pandemic. We never go down, Gail. Don't you get it? The government controls the stock market. Why would they let it go down? They want to make money too. The only time the market goes down is when they needed wealth transfer. They need to cash out. They use the media to scare us into believing something's really, really awful. This time it was the Delta variant and the Fed tapering. And 3 days later, nobody gives a shit, because now people are starting to realize the market never goes down. So when everybody believes it, they'll have another rug pull, and maybe we'll have a 3 to 5% correction. We haven't even had a 5% correction in what seems like 18 months. It has to come. It's just math. It's going to happen. But it looks like what they're going to do is they're going to run the market so much. They're going to go so high. So when we're up 30% and we have a 10% drawdown, who cares? We'll still be up 20% for the year. And then what? Then comes the Christmas rally and the Santa Claus rally and the January effect. Next thing you know, it's February, March. We're rallying like a bat out of hell again. The market's up another 12 to 15%. Nobody cares. Until you could walk into a bank and say, hey, can I get a CD that gives me 5.5% over the next 2 years, and you don't get laughed at? When that day comes, then the market may have some issues. Right now, there's zero places to put your money unless you're very wealthy and you could buy real estate. If you can't afford to buy income-generating real estate, there's zero places for you to make any money on money. You're going to buy gold and silver? Really? What has it been now? 8 years? I mean, I understand gold had a nice run, but I'm a silver guy. 8 years now. Hasn't really changed. Sure, if you bought the lows and sold the highs on silver, yeah. But you think, owning silver for 15, 8 to 10 years, you'd think you'd be up on this stuff already. So what am I, 10 years later, what's silver going to be? The same price. And once again, you've lost money with inflation and time. But there's just nowhere else to put your money. And what's great about the market is that, just when you thought AMC and GameStop and Bed Bath and Beyond and Best Buy and Space and, some of these other weird stocks that have zero income, just when you thought those were done having those crazy runs, boom, you get this crazy day in August where it was kind of a boring day. And then they just woke up and everybody just jumps in on it. There's so much money. There's so much money and liquidity that the market is just the greatest casino, and it's rigged in our favor. As long as you're not buying worthless biotech stocks that are up 600% one day and then they go down 500%. Well, they can't go down 500%, but then they drop 80% over the next 3 days, and you're sitting there wondering if they'll ever come back. They're probably not going to come back. But if you're buying decent companies with a real business model that actually might make money, you're going to come out ahead in the end. And again, the only two stocks I've been recommending as long-term holds has been BTU, which is now up 1,300% since my recommendation. That's 13 times your money on a stock. And it's been a slow increase. It's been a staircase. It's not been a parabolic move where you're afraid that it's going to come crashing back down. And obviously the QQQ. It's not supposed to go up every day, every week, every month, but it is. And what are you going to do about it? You just got to sit here and you hold it. But if you can't afford to sit and just buy the Qs and watch them go up every day and you want to trade, I legitimately have never, ever seen a trade that works this well. Just wait for stocks that were down for a couple of days to pivot, break back over the VWAP multiple time frames or whatever, and you're getting 5% moves. And then the next day you get another 5% move. It really is just about being patient and not jumping around to every shiny object. Like, who cares about 90% of stocks that I watch one day? I don't even remember what I was looking at 3 days later. Right? That's what I'm talking about. But bottom line, if you guys are out there, come and join us. Come join us. Do what you got to do. Nothing's changed for us. We're still doing it the same way. Let me show you how to make some money, pay for some more time, make some money, pay for some more time. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make money first, then you're going to pay. Only place in this industry that does it is my website and my crew. So, and people are really getting it now. Some people never get it. Some people don't get it. Some people don't understand the QQQ is. I know I know one person out there, and I'm not throwing you under the bus. I don't understand how you blew an account up trading the QQQ around the VWAP. The trade works every time. I don't understand what you did, but I do understand because it's all about timing, and you have a trade that works pretty much all the time, but that one time when it didn't work, and you decided to go 100 times bigger on that trade because you were on tilt and it didn't work that day, I guess bad luck, bad timing, and the trade didn't work that day. But you know what? The next 78 days in a row, they did work. So if you wouldn't have gone so big on your first trade, you'd still be doing this. So again, it's not just the trade. It's risk management, it's money management, and it's not having any fear. If you're afraid to trade, you'll never make any money. Every time you buy a stock and it goes down, you panic out of it and sell it. How the hell are you going to make any money? Do what I do. At least panic out of it when you're profitable. Give it a moment. I sell everything prematurely. That's my claim to fame. I bought AMC today at 37.50. I sold it at 37.20. No, sorry. I made 21 cents. I bought it 37.50, and I was like, let me just offer it out here. And once again, selling your whole position at one price backfired every time. And again, I was just goofing around. I was like, oh, let's get some AMC if it breaks 37.50. Next thing you know, it goes up 11 points after I get out. I mean, I could have bought it back, but, I was being stubborn. I was just in shock, really. And then Alibaba, man, rode that thing all the way down, covered, went long, had a couple of good days with that. And it's the market that just keeps on giving. And guess what? The best part, if we ever go down, we're going to see the signs. The UVXY will have 3 or 4 up days in a row again. The market will break prior day VWAP. It will break a prior day low. And then those will be the signs that you could actually stay short. So those signs, they last for 45 minutes now, and then you're forced to cover because the market just never goes down. So stop in this week before we start getting back in, learn a few things before earnings season. You miss earnings season again, because this has been phenomenal, And the best part about it, those 5 trades on Friday, they were all shorts in a market that never goes down, because the fade is so important. Deere faded, AMAT faded, Foot Locker faded, Alibaba faded, BKE faded. Goldman Sachs was one of the greatest trades this year. Blowout number, blowout quarter, gapped up 11, wound up selling off 20, because you sell the news. Hey, man, you know what I'm hoping for tomorrow? And I'm hoping some of these crazy ones continue, because I got some guys or some girls, some fellas, some ladies, some gentlemen that got stuck in Clove from 3 months ago. They got stuck in the bed, the BlackBerry. That one I'm really looking forward to seeing if it follows through. This one's been dead for so long that now that it's come back, I'm liking BlackBerry tomorrow if we could get some follow through. But, maybe get this thing back to 1250 would be nice. It just broke the 1 month VWAP. It just broke, 1 month high. Stays over 11. I'm looking for this thing maybe, I got projections up to $14. So, but the hard part's going to be getting over the 1225. But I'll take 1225 tomorrow. All right. Stop in. We got 300 people on the site now. A lot of people and a lot of good traders are on there, and they're taking their time to make their announcements in the room, talking about what they're in. So it's really come a long way over the last 2 years, and it's only getting better. All right. And for you guys that struggled or blew yourself up or just not getting it, I'll tell you one more time. I don't own stocks. I don't swing trade. I don't do put spreads anymore. I'm not selling puts on stocks I like. I'm not doing call spreads. The only thing I'm doing is the day trade, and then I'm selling naked calls on the SQQ, because the SQQ will never go to 40. And that's it. No more MUDs, no more Cybercock, no more PBI. SCR got bought out. If you guys are in it, congratulations. I don't see the point in owning or swinging or selling options. I don't see the point of taking any other risk except the ones that I have a little bit more control over. And when the market's closed, you have zero control, because you don't know what's going to happen overnight. You don't know what's going to report and how they're going to react to it. And I don't want to care. So I've gone back to my original self. I am a day trader, and I will never, ever be anything else. And that's the way I'm going to roll. And if I'm going to own a stock, it's always going to be the QQQ or some QQQ derivative. That's it. I don't need to own stocks to make money in the market. I can own them for 7 hours a day, and that's plenty. All right, be careful out there. We are going to go down one day. I think maybe I'm going to go ahead and say first 2 weeks in April are going to be a doozy. Seriously. If we make it through September and October without a 5 or 8% to 10% correction, we're not going to have one this year. I'm telling you, if we make it through September and October, November is going to be choppy. December will always rally. January, I think we make it to probably the first couple of weeks in April, and then we'll have a tax selling sell off. Everyone's going to want to cash out of something to pay taxes, and then they're going to have to cash out of something else to pay taxes. So I'm thinking Dow 43,000 by then. Maybe we get, a 3 or 4,000 point haircut. We'll be back to 39,000. And the Qs will probably be around 420 by then. So then if we have a 10% correction, they pull back to what? At 420, that's a $40 pullback. We'll go back to 380. And then what? We sit around confused for a week or two, and then what happens? Then we start going straight up until interest rates are, and I'm not even talking about an interest rate hike. I'm talking about real money, where you could get 2.5%, 3.5%, 5% in a 2-year CD, somewhere where you could actually generate some income with cash. Until that day happens, this market will never go down. That's my take on what we're doing right here. But still rather be liquid than not. And, the price of oil is not controlled by the president. I hate to break it to you one more time, but I just need to remind everybody. If anybody wants to debate, I'm writing a thesis about it because I'm not a Biden fan. I'm not a politician fan. You obviously know why I hated Trump. It wasn't his policies, because he was anyway, I'm not getting into it. Never a fan of anybody. The last person I was a fan of, really, I guess I kind of liked Ronald Reagan, but I was only 8 years old. So what did I know, right? Well, how old was I? Yeah, 8, 9. I kind of liked him. He made me feel good. Anyway, president does not control the price of oil. It's not about pipelines. It's about supply and demand and the cartels. We've got 4% control. All right? Don't be a dick. Vote Glick. My manifesto's almost done. I'll see you guys in cyberspace. Make sure you come to the website, Derek. Don't be trading bond futures either, by the way. At least trade the NQs. See ya.